Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you the fragrances I wore the most this month, August 2021. These are also the fragrances that worked the best for me in this hot and humid month. This was pretty oppressive, so these are also great fragrances to wear in that type of environment. So let's get into the video. If this is your first time tuning in, hi, my name is Kristin. I run this channel called Beauty Meow. It's a primarily fragrance related channel where we have fragrance related discussions, chit chats, conversations, recommendations, reviews, and the like. So if you enjoy that type of content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and also don't forget to like this video. It really helps me out and I really appreciate the support. So August, let me give you guys a little TLDR. It was horrible this month. It was so hot. I would go outside to just like get mail and I would come back and I would feel like I was like running like 10 miles. It's just so hot. You sweat. It's gross. Humid weather, hot weather, summer weather, just ick, especially in Florida. Now, I like to wear heavy fragrances. I like to wear really complex fragrances. I also like to wear light and fresh fragrances. But by the time that August comes, because generally summer kind of starts like end of May, I've worn so many fresh, light, citrusy scents. I'm just ready for the weather where I can wear more complex fragrances. So August is where I start to experiment with the types of fragrances that work best in heat and humidity that aren't just like light blue from Dolce & Gabbana. Now there is one fragrance that was light and fresh that worked really well, and I wore this one a lot, and it was actually a body mist. And I found myself just reaching for Rain Day from Derek Lam, and I found a bunch of these body mists at TJ Maxx and Marshalls for like $6-7. So if you run into these, they're really affordable, great body mists. But what I like about this, it was fresh and green and just worked really well in the morning. In the morning, I'm doing dishes, I'm cooking breakfast, I'm doing laundry, I'm doing a lot. Sometimes I'm doing yard work first thing in the morning. So I want to smell nice and fresh, but I'm going to be sweating. And this has been a great one to wear. I also really have liked layering this with Veered or Verd. I'm not really good at this name. And this is a fragrance that is pricey, but I think if you like this type of fragrance, this is a worthy investment, believe it or not. I actually didn't buy this. This was given to me when I purchased a bunch of fragrances from a website that was actually closing its doors, and they sent this to me as a like a gift with purchase. And I'm telling you, if they had sent me a sample of this, I would have purchased this. I believe this size is $120. I think this is 30 ml. It is pricey, but it is exceptional, especially if you like citrus and lemon specifically. So this is deep citrus, and it is a deep lemon scent. It kind of like in your mind, if you can just imagine a really deep yellow, kind of semi-orange yellow lemon, like what that would smell like, that's what this smells like. It has a slight musky animalic brightness to it, and it's just a deep citrus scent. Obviously it's called Deep Citron, but that's what it is. It's perfectly named. And what I like about this is a great scent to layer and blend with other fragrances if you want that kind of really unique, complex citrus, not that bright lemon, grapefruit, bergamot that you see in everything, which is fantastic and works really well. But if you want a bit more brightness in something without like a tart sparkle, this is fantastic. And these two paired together have been like my morning scent. I've enjoyed it so much. It is pricey. I don't have to use a lot of it. I usually just spray once and kind of gently dab there, and it works really well with Rain Day, because Rain Day is really what you smell. It's bright and crisp and green, and that just little bit of kind of citrus works gorgeously. So I really like those two together. One of them is pricey, but I think I love the combo that I've worn the most. If I had to talk about my most worn perfume, not body mist, it's definitely going to be Sandalwood and Oak from Scents of Wood. I cannot tell you how much I've been obsessed with this brand and this particular fragrance. Again, during heat and humidity, you can't wear specific fragrances. It just gets, I like really challenging ouds or really dark gourmands or fragrances that kind of make you go, ugh, rather than like, ah. Like, I just like challenging fragrances. And there are certain challenging fragrances that work really well in summer, heat and humidity. Eau de Citron Noir from Hermes is probably one of the best in my opinion. But there's sometimes like really smoky fragrances I want to smell. And smoky fragrances don't work well, at least to me. It gets a little suffocating and headache inducing when it's really hot. But this one was just fantastic. Because it's a smoke sage with a pink pepper, the smoke is not headache inducing, not heavy, not cloying, not suffocating. It's really light, and it's also a really grounding fragrance too, which I enjoy. I like the fact that this has a very predominant Gaiac wood in there, which is slightly resinous and works beautifully with the smoke sage and the pink pepper and the woods in here. There's also some burnt sugar and vanilla in here. It's just a gorgeous scent, and how I like to smell. It's very reminiscent of one of my favorite fragrances ever, which is Le Labo Bay Rose 26. It's the Chicago City exclusive. Just one of the most beautiful, like dominant pink pepper fragrances. And this one smells like its cousin. Like they're the two cousins, like going out clubbing and having a good time, like the hot girls in the club kind of thing. It's a horrible way to describe this fragrance, but that's kind of like what it smells like to me. Like, it's very much similar to Bay Rose 26 from Le Labo. If you guys like that fragrance, see if you can just get a sample of this and try it out. It's excellent, and this has kind of scratched that itch of kind of complex, spicy, woody, smoky fragrance that's just worked perfectly in this really horrible month that is August in Florida. So a next fantastic contender for fragrance I've worn a lot, not contender, actual fragrance I've worn a lot, is Fleur à la Rose from Francis Kurkdjian's house in Maison Francis Kurkdjian, Paris. This is a fantastic fragrance, and à la Rose in and of itself is an easy rose to wear. It's very light, very watery, very feminine, very sparkly, really has a magic to it. It's a very romantic, feminine, sophisticated rose. And it's a fragrance you could wear in the summer. I do love that scent. I have the hair mist, I have the hand cream. It's one of my favorite fragrances and a fantastic rose scent. But what I love about this one is that it's just, because it was so humid, even fragrances that work good in heat and humidity, it was just hard. It was just hard to wear, even just a la Rose. So I just found myself reaching for this one. It's really nice. It was very light and just like perfect for, like, especially like during the day when I wanted to smell nice and I wanted to smell inspired and uplifting. Gorgeous scent in general, but worked really, really well for this month, and one I wore a bunch. Now these last two are ones I wasn't sure I was going to wear as much as I have, and one of them is actually, surprise, surprise, Scent from Above from Dolly Parton. I'm actually really in love with this fragrance. Like, genuinely, I love this scent. And there's a lot of fragrances that I love, but I don't find excuses to wear. I don't get excited to wear. I'm like, I love this fragrance. I'll wear it when I feel like I'm in the mood. And other fragrances are like, I want to smell like that. So what I love about this fragrance is it's soft, it's sweet, it's feminine, and it's powdery. And I really love powdery fragrances. And I actually like the way that makeup smells. I like the way that powdery lipsticks smell. I like the way compacts smell. I like the way beauty products smell. I like it. Not everyone likes it, and I completely understand. You shouldn't have to put on eye cream and have your eyes water because it's too heavily fragranced. Like, I understand not wanting fragrance in your beauty products. I actually really like the experience. And what I like about this is it kind of has that, again, this was supposed to mimic how she smells, like her beauty routine. Powders and makeup and shampoo and body lotions and body oils and fragrances. This smells just like someone's dressing room. Like, not like their bedroom, because that sounds kind of weird, but kind of like if you walk to their vanity and they have their skincare there and they have, you know, maybe their hairspray and their powders and their creams, what that smells like. And it's kind of like when you smell this, you're kind of sitting down and watching Dolly like put on her glam, or her makeup artist put on her glam. And I love that it smells like that. And I've talked about it in this video. One of the things that I don't like about certain celebrity fragrances isn't the fragrance in and of itself. It feels like the celebrities are so removed from the process. And there are a few people a few celebrities who really have more of a hands-on, and you kind of can imagine them there more as a creative director rather than closing their eyes and picking between 3 scents that works the best. And this fragrance, Smells Like Dolly, definitely had a huge hand in creating, and I like that. But the reason why I like wearing this is because I like to wear very strong, sweet, powdery fragrances. And sometimes those don't work in humid weather, and sometimes they do. And what I like about this is it's just light enough, and it's just soft enough, and it's just sweet enough that it actually worked really well on days where I wanted to smell more feminine, where I wanted to smell more mature, where I wanted that powdery softness, because I do really like powdery fragrances. This just turned out to be a fragrance that I really genuinely enjoyed. Now, a lot of people love this fragrance, and there's some people that can't stand it. So even though full size, this is like $60, I would still try and see if you can get a sample before you buy it, or buy it from someplace you can return it if you don't like it. But if you like mature, timeless, sophisticated fragrances, which I do, this has a quirky, fun little spin to it, and that's who Dolly is. And just for heat and humidity in August, on days where, again, I want to wear those mature fragrances, I want to wear those more complex fragrances, but they're hard to wear in humid weather, that has been like a fantastic one. And I think I've done like another mini review of that, so we're gonna stop that. But that has been one I've worn at least a dozen times, and that's saying something because I have a lot of fragrances. Now, this last one is one that was sent to me, and I do need to review this fragrance. But this fragrance is one I did not expect to like as much as I do, and it's Brioni from Brioni. And Brioni is a menswear line. They've had a few fragrances before. I'm not sure if they discontinued them, and now this is the fragrance. I don't know anything about Brioni. Before I do the review, I need to do a little bit more research, but this scent, just even if this was the only fragrance or if it's part of a line, is so good. Now, because this is a menswear line, this fragrance does smell like you'd buy it at a men's fragrance counter. It doesn't mean only men can wear it, but if you understand that certain compositions and predominant notes tend to be found at this side of the fragrance aisle and certain ones are here, then this is going to smell like, if somebody's passing you by really quickly, going to smell like a generic men's cologne. Like, basically it smells if you walked up to a men's fragrance counter. But what I love about this, especially in the heat and humidity, is actually that you have to smell it for like a minute or two. It's not something that as you walk by, it will grab attention. It's actually a very attractive compliment, attention grabbing fragrance. And you know, those types of fragrances like Bleu de Chanel, Sauvage, you know, those fragrances do have an attraction to them, and people do generally really enjoy them. That's why they're so popular. This kind of fits into that category. But what I love about it is that it has this beautiful balance between this kind of watery aromatic violet and ambroxan. It's a very ozonic woody fragrance, and the cedar in here is fantastic. And what I like is that kind of watery violet and that ambroxan is a perfect balance. And I think when I was doing my like favorite fragrances for fall, and I mentioned this, I kind of said that there's the screechiness and the sharpness that ambroxan can have, can sometimes overpower, but it actually works in a way where it kind of adds a clarity to the other notes. And because the violet isn't like a powdery violet, there's tonka in here, so it does pull a tiny bit powdery, but not really that much. It's more of a woody aromatic ozonic scent that has a predominant violet smell. It's just that ambroxan works so well in heat. And there are times where ambroxan can be too much, and there's some times where ambroxan can be just the right amount. And this one with the violet is just the right amount. I really enjoy it. And I like more kind of ozonic smelling masculine fragrances, specifically woods. And the violet in here I think is just beautiful. It is, and I mean very, very, very minimally like Fahrenheit-esque. And Fahrenheit is a fragrance I love. I don't own, but I love it. But it's hard for me to wear. Sometimes I wear it and I start like getting a headache, but I want it. It's kind of like if I eat some of my trigger foods, I know I'm going to be sick later because I ate this I ate this like garlic dish, you know, but I still love it and enjoy it and do it anyway. And then I'm kind of like cursing myself when later on. That's how Fahrenheit is with me. It's like I love wearing it, but sometimes it's just too much. And this, I kind of get that, like, that it scratches that itch, but it just has a beautiful, just gorgeous scent. And that violet I love because it's like a green, aromatic, watery violet. Is this the most unique composition ever created? Absolutely not. Can you find this someplace else? Yes. But I actually like the quality that this has in regards that I've smelled other fragrances like this and it kind of felt like something was missing, and I feel like that just has all the things fall in place to make a really beautiful and enjoyable fragrance, especially on days I want to smell kind of more like a men's cologne than a women's cologne in regards to what side of the fragrance section, because I do really like men's fragrances, and that one works really well. And the violet being kind of more watery and the ambroxan being just enough works fantastically in humid weather. So I've been loving that. Anyway, guys, that is my review. I'm kind of making sure I didn't forget anything. Those are the fragrances I've been wearing. Obviously, I wear a lot of scents, and if you are unfamiliar with how I wear fragrances, I obviously wake up in the morning. It's when I do my dishes, my laundry, my errands, yard work, things like that, and then I'm sweaty and gross and I take a shower, and then that's when I wear my scent of the day. So if you see my Instagram, if you follow my Instagram where I share like fragrance reviews and fragrances of the day and stuff like that, I can't say words. Those are what you'll see, like, oh, I wear this today, or this today. And then at night, I have a nighttime fragrance. So I'm wearing at least 2 to 3 fragrances a day, but these are the ones I've been reaching for the most. I'd say my like go-to for this month has been this. I actually wore this a few days into the month because I was like kind of running out of the house, and I sprayed this. And then I was like, oh man, I want something else. And I kind of just grabbed this and I was like, oh, this should work. And I was like, ooh, I like that. So I've just like, after kind of accidentally stumbling in it because I was running out of time and late for a doctor's appointment, that worked really well. And I've really been enjoying it. I've probably worn this at least a dozen times, at least. It's fantastic. I think the one that scratched the itch though, if you're looking for a fragrance that it has complexity, has beauty, works really well in heat and humidity. I really love sandalwood and oak. I'm telling you guys, I'm like obsessed with this brand, and I bought it. I've never been sent anything from this fragrance house. I've just generally fallen in love with that fragrance, and it's worked so well because, again, I like that smokiness. I like that woodiness. I like that spiciness. I like that pepperiness. I like that it has like a smooth roundness to it, but that just works well, but also worked perfectly in heat and humidity. It was just the right amount of smoke. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. I think I've been talking way too much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'd love to know what fragrances you guys have been reaching for and loving this month. Let me know in the comment section below. If I have any reviews of any of these fragrances, I will link them below too. Check them out. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.